Now, one thing we have to remember on this, from what I'm seeing, so first off, we're going to read this up, okay? What it says here is Digital Creative Framework, DCF, is a sandbox platform for building and sharing custom worlds, sculpt terrain, design structures, and add AI driven mechanics. So play solo or collaborate in multiplayer to explore limitless creativity and immersive gameplay. So building and sharing custom world. So it's about building your own world and then sharing it together afterwards, where then you can join in together and play on it. One second. And then we can construct. All right. So first off, let's check out the customize. I'm gonna go ahead and mute this. First off, let's go ahead and say of customizing the avatar. I actually thought I chose one already. It didn't save it. So I created one earlier and it didn't save my avatar. Hang on. Okay, yeah, it didn't save my avatar. All right, let's give out these two prizes real quick first. So I can put my glasses back on and see stuff. One second. Yet another climbing game. And then the other game was Dora. Cut and paste. Okay. So that giveaway is over. We'll go ahead and do another one here probably within the hour. And now we're looking at the game here. We do have some copies of this game if y'all are interested in it, and you can even join us after we create this map. So let's go ahead and just pick a random character here. I created this earlier already. I spent time this morning creating it, but apparently it didn't like me. Okay. So you can pick all the different eye colors and stuff. Even cat's eyes. Pick a random nose, mouth. Okay, let's try this again. None. Prepare. Okay. All right, let's just pick that for now. Now we go over to the clothes. So this is the clothes I was going to tell y'all about. So the clothes, you can actually select the jacket right here. And then I already picked the shoes earlier. I picked the green ones. Okay. So there was one other thing I was trying to do, and that was the hat. So we're going to put the glasses on. I did these glasses earlier. This is the glasses I selected. And then there was a hat, which we chose a helmet. But I chose this one because of the skull on it. There we go. So we selected save. It's preparing the avatar. So now it's here. So how do I select it? Let's try the remote here. See if that helps. Yeah, so now I got the avatar. So construct. No saved data found. So then we go to world, and it brings us to this. Okay. You can teleport to garage. Now, what parts do we have in here to be able to edit things? All right, let me go ahead and turn the sound back on. Okay, so y'all should hear the sound as we walk and stuff. Now you don't hear that music anymore. So we look at some of these things we go up to. Pressure plate, laser detector, electric door, ceiling light. Let's look at controls. So it doesn't look like you can set up with the remote. Wait. Hang on, it looks like it did. Okay, so it is with the remote as well. Okay.
Hey, bud.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm sorry about that. My daughter had to talk to me for a minute. But
Oh, no, not a
uh,
problem.
oh, right now you're in the construct, and so that's basically where you set your world up. But if you go
Yes.
back out to the main menu by hitting escape, and then you can do host, and then that will create a world that you can kind of create.
Okay, so when you go to construct, it's not that's not the part to actually create the map itself from scratch or anything, or what?
So construct is basically where you will, and as the gamepad isn't fully in yet, but it's
Okay.
coming. But construct will be the place where if you go in there, you can see like all the build parts and all the different things that you can do in the game. But what eventually it'll be able to do is you'll be able to change out parts with your own custom parts. So if you want a different wall, you'll be able to build in a wall. It actually can import at runtime a 3D model. So you can swap out all those models eventually and have it be all custom, whether it's
Okay.
trees, grass, walls, guns, whatever.
Okay.
So
Well,
construct is basically where you set up your world. Host, now if you go into host, it will then create a world that you can terraform and mess around with an
all right. So,
ocean in it and everything
so I
like that.
guess I mixed the two up though, because what the game plan was to create a world with everyone here together, where they help guide of where we put things and stuff like that. But what you're saying is that is even just with hosting that we then create
No,
that
no,
way,
no.
or
Just go ahead and click on host and you can do that in there. That's where that
okay,
happens.
okay. So you're saying the construct part, when we if I go back to construct real quick to understand it
Hmm.
more, you're saying that this part here
So
would be where. Go ahead.
yeah, so you remember in the Matrix where they had the construct where they could pick what guns they had in the world,
Mm-hmm.
what cars they had in the world, whatever the world looked like?
Yeah.
That's what the construct is here as well, right? So if you go by, you're going to see all the things in the survival kit that you're looking at there. And then on that, you get the building tools and the terraforming tool. So you can build all those pieces that you see to your right. All those pieces are buildable with that building plan.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the audio settings don't work. So that's the
Yeah,
one.
we just
That's
found
the
that out
one
right
thing.
away. That's one of the things we always check
Yeah.
right away. We go into the settings, we see what options we have, we check for brightness, graphics, things, all that stuff, sound. And one thing that's really common with new games coming out or testing or anything like that is either the sound itself settings won't work, or most of the sound settings would work, but then like the music wouldn't. So you couldn't adjust the music by itself. That would be with the master volume instead and stuff like that. So that's the
Yeah,
first. That's the first thing I
it's
noticed.
it's literally kind of open ended right now. It's
Yeah.
only me. So there's this huge project and I've got lots of stuff to do. So, but I know how to fix it. I just need to get in there and do it. It's
Hmm.
definitely on the list. It's a giant list.
Oh yeah, we're
Put
not
it
worried
that
about
way.
that. We're not worried about that. We're just putting this more in as early release type bits and understand that things can change it as it's progressing and so forth. And it sounds like you have this
It,
as you're always wanting to modify and add to it and change this and that or so forth, is what I'm gathering from you so far.
yeah, we came out on the 27th of January of 2024 and we put out 3 updates since then. It's a constant. I try to update almost every week
Yeah, and
and we're constantly different things with it.
yeah.
But yeah, if you go back into the level, you can go like to the action park, and then there'll be like motion action
Mm-hmm.
in there. You can kind of see how the motion. So yeah, go back over to those teleporters,
The adventure
and then
one.
that yeah, the adventure park. If you go on top of that, and then I think you have to hit F actually.
Yeah, it says E. I pressed E, nothing. I press F. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah, there you go. You should pop over. And then
Yeah.
this will kind of show you like different motion maps that are in
Mm-hmm.
there. Eventually, you'll be able to build these with the building plan. So you'll be able to make maps with zip lines and beams and jump pads and, slide metrics and stuff like that as well. Wall runs. So that's that showing that element of it in the construct, and then on the bottom part it shows all the building elements, and then if you go to the garage it will show you all the cars and vehicles that are being added to the game. There's more coming, and there's a collision problem with it right now that I'm working with, but this kind of shows you like the whole version of the game. You'll also notice that the sky has, instead of a sun, it has like a planet and an asteroid in it, and yeah, some of the beam animations I just
Why?
updated.
Why does this give me like a gladiator feeling? American Gladiator.
Yeah,
You
it's
remember that
totally,
show?
you could totally make American Gladiator course with this game. It's totally built for that.
So the
So
first
yeah,
thing I saw this morning when I loaded it up is I wanted to stand here and see how far this thing would launch my character, and it didn't.
yeah, collision isn't set up yet. So
Okay.
I mean, I can make it. We can make it so it can do it as a prank. So you could have it, and you drop that hammer in the world, and drop it as a prank. If you hit Z, you'll get a parachute, but it doesn't
Oh,
have any
okay.
fall damage. So
Okay. So we're
yeah.
really just the one thing I wanted to do here before we went over to the host part is I wanted to show everybody the different items and so forth, and that it even has this mode because that is definitely something that a lot of the community out here is interested in being able to modify things and create things. I already know
This
some
so
that
if
do the GTA stuff with the cars and so forth, so they would definitely like
yeah.
putting in some
Yeah,
cars
these
and stuff like that.
cars are by a Spanish studio that are just amazing. These guys are so great, and they're inspired by the GTA cars. So these cars are fully damageable, and they can and the physics are really good once you get them dialed in and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about the cars. They're also fully customizable too, right? And there's lots more to come. This is just like I say, the ones that you're seeing here, just the ones in the game kind of um, currently that you can kind of access. But then also, if you go up, one thing that I wanted to show, or we could show really quick about the
Hang
construct,
on
and
one
you can
second. Let
see
me get
there's
out of the car.
the collision issue is
There. Okay.
in the butt.
Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't want the sound to go over your voice because I
Yeah,
can't
so
adjust the volume.
if you go back up to the top, or if you just hit K, it'll kill your character, and then it'll reset you back up there, so you don't
Okay.
have to go running back up there.
So a lot of
Um,
people with sandbox modes are familiar with keys and stuff like that, or respawn things or so forth. So for everybody on here, especially if you're interested in the game, as I'm going to be giving some copies out, just remember on that the K does do so. It looks like you have to hold it down. Oh no, I had it like
yeah,
double
I
tapped it.
usually hit it a couple times, but
Yeah.
it's it's uh yeah. There's a that walkthrough video is where the tutorial is kind of right now, but there'll be eventually the tutorial will happen in here as well. So but if you go back up to that top level, and you can
Okay.
use that little teleporter or whatever, and then there's a teleporter that says teleport to mesh. That one
Yep.
right there. If you go to that one, it's going to pull up a whole new interface. Well, what this does is literally at runtime can pull in a 3D model or
Okay.
a texture or a song file, and then add it to the workshop for the game. So then you can now, I mean, and now it's not fully integrated, but basically what this will allow you to do is take any custom thing that you build and bring it straight into the game at runtime, bring it up to the Steam workshop, and then all your friends can download it and use it for whatever you want to use it for. So if you want to replace walls, if you want to replace bikes, if you want to replace whatever the heck you want to mess with, you'll be able to mess with straight through this interface.
So is this application considered more of a design program in Steam or a combination of a design program and game? How would you describe it more?
Technically, it's a game because
Yeah.
it's running all in Unreal, so it's a
Okay.
game. But yes, it has the idea is that every element that you can modify in a game engine is I'm trying to bring forward to the player to allow the player to modify those elements.
Mm-hmm.
So you can dump out of the screen by hitting Alt F4, and then you'll have to reload the game. But yeah, that's just the last part of the construct I wanted to show you.
Okay. So there's
And
no
then
other
you
way to
can
back out. There's no other way to back out of
not
this at the
not
moment.
this point is very work in progress because this is also going to be tapped with AI. So eventually AI will also be able to manipulate that and
Yeah.
bring in other items and create worlds. I mean, once I get the AI component going with the headless server, it's going to change the whole thing again. Um, but yeah, basically, the construct is allows you to change how your world is represented, and then you can go into your world and build a world, and then eventually, all the manifests will kind of coalesce. And so when you visit a world, it'll say, okay, you need this file, this file, this file, this file, pull them all together, and then once you have them, it'll say, okay, now you can go into the world and check it out.
So is this considered a full-on release already, or is this more like an early access or beta or?
So you know what? I've been doing the game studio thing for 3 years, and the first game I did was early access, and you know what? It's a lot of clutter, and I really wanted to just say, here's a game. So what happened with DCF is about 7 months ago, we went completely undercover and started building it from scratch. And I brought it all the way up to the 1.0 level, which was on January 27th. And that's when we brought the game on live. So
Okay.
it's not early access. Would I say it's done? No, but it's constantly being updated. And it's a game on Steam for $15. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it. And it's certainly it's worth it at this point already because like I say, you popped into the construct. You should probably pop into the host at this point. But
Yeah, I was just showing a little bit more on this part first while we're discussing it. I didn't want other sounds going off while we were having the
sure, I
conversation.
understand. But yeah, basically the idea is to say here, it's an open environment for people to be able to dump in whatever they want to dump in. But
Yeah.
we also got a lot of resistance from the big studios when we introduced our idea because they certainly didn't like us taking away their meal ticket. And so we've gotten a lot of resistance that way. But at a certain point, they kind of had to let it release and go. And
Yeah.
yeah, we just don't. I just don't look. It's just me. It's just this studio. It's $15 for the game, and if it's not enough, then Steam has a good
Yeah.
refund policy, right? But
Yeah, no,
it's
not a
at
problem
this
on
point.
from that part. The so there's a lot of uh we have a long history when it comes to gaming and stuff like that on where people are in here. We have people that came from like the late 90s, early 2000s, and then we have other ones that are more recent. And people like me that come from the older ones of how we were actually allowed to make our own custom maps and
Mhm.
put it out there for others to see. It wasn't like a map pack you had to buy or anything. You simply went on things like Planet Quake or whatever, and you would just people would upload their maps there, and you would just download it from it. And then once it's downloaded, you go to it on the servers, or if they have it on their own servers, you downloaded it from the servers, and you just played the game. And it wasn't like worrying about who's selling this, who's selling that. It was you were able to actually create your own stuff and then play on it, and that's the type of feeling I'm getting from this so far. And
That's
I know a lot of the
exactly
people in
what
the
we're trying
community
to
is
do.
gonna like that as well. And we've already had
Yeah,
part of this discussion off the air on it from that part, that a lot of things that they'll look for in things like this though is then like the achievements and other objectives to do as far as for Steam achievements and stuff to make it even more
and
fun from that part.
yeah, and from that perspective, like all those systems are already built into the game, right? Like the
Yeah,
leaderboards, the achievements, all of that's built into the game. The reason that they're not turned on is because I really want the community to tell me what those achievements should be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that the community is gonna, if you hit tab, you'll get your inventory and you can see all that
Okay.
stuff that you picked up. But and then that quick bar down at the bottom is how you kind of enable it.
Yeah, we've had some other games we played recently like this as well from that part of how you enable it and stuff. Okay. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get the feel of
So
this before I go to the hosting.
yeah, I understand. But basically, so that's the upgrade tool. So if you walk up to a build part, you should be able to upgrade it with that,
What build part? Like one of these up here?
like the foundation. Now click on that. Can you click on it?
I'm right clicking. It's not doing anything. Left click?
Oh, maybe you have to build one. So go back into
Okay.
tab and pull out your building plan. Could be that those demo ones aren't changeable.
Could
Looks like
be.
you don't have a building plan. So go to craft. Oh yeah, that there it is. Yeah, three, and then you right click, and you'll get yeah. There you go.
Now I had a problem placing things last time when I
Well,
tried this.
you'll need a foundation first.
Okay.
So
Where's the
grab
so like wood foundation? No.
either way. Yeah, yep. That's the
'Cause
one. Click
I
that.
tried foundation.
Uh,
Oh, there we go. Okay. I just didn't left click on it first.
Yeah.
Then we can do the
There you go.
foundations like this.
Right. And then now if you switch out to that upgrade hammer, then you can upgrade it to the different
Okay.
patterns. And
So now upgrade.
the keys on the yeah.
So you got to left click on it on that part. Okay. Okay.
And the idea is with the static mesh importer that you'd be able to bring in whatever bricks you want. So your
Yeah.
world would have whatever ones you wanted in it.
Okay. All right, let's see what we have from the audience here so far. So, Draw says, really love how informative everything is. Solarian says, StarCraft map maker, gang gang. I don't know what that means.
That's a Gen Z term. I don't know if Snoop Dogg would say that you're qualified to say that.
All right, so I need to select hosts, and then we're gonna put never aging gamers. So I'm gonna create.
Yep.
Now, as far as load local map, is that from what I would
So
have created on the other one, or in this section?
once you make a change to the map, then you would load the local map. If
Okay.
you so for now you'll
So you
just
would
go
save
to
the map
map.
and then load it.
Right, and then once you make a change to the map, then you would load it, and then you would drop into the map. So now, if
Okay.
you go to tab and craft a terraformer, and that'll show you how that map save can kind of crafting.
And that goes to the crafting queue.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just killed it out of the queue.
Oh, I knew that. I was just testing it. Okay. So I mean, so we are real familiar with games, whether it's early access or how they're putting games out there and things aren't fully functioning just yet or stuff like that. The main concern that the communities have for things like this is just knowing that there's an active development that's still behind it. That it's not like, okay, here's the stuff and we're just gonna leave it there. As long as we as a community know that you're constantly working on this. I don't mean like 24/7 type it, but yet that you're always looking to improve things, add things to enough to where then the community themselves can then just drive off of it, putting their own stuff in there, their own models, 3D models and stuff like that. That's what they're more concerned on.
And I totally get that. That's why I didn't release it until it was at a certain point in my
Mm.
head where it was like this is where I feel like at least it's complete enough to play and enjoy. If you hit C, you can change the time and it makes it a little easier to see. Um,
What do you mean by change the time? I hit
so see
C.
that time scroll at the top?
Here. What, change it to like dark or change
I'll
it to
change
light?
it to day.
Okay.
You can move the whole time around. So just
Yeah,
yeah,
I
there
see
you
it.
go. So now you can see. Yeah, you can also do that with weather.
Yeah.
But basically, if you hit C again now,
All right, let's see if we
yeah,
can fry my video card, y'all.
there you go.
So I just selected rain. Why does all of a sudden it feel like we're what was that? What was the name of that movie where the kids were in that globe-like thing to fight? Wasn't it like Mockingbird or something? Or
Lord of the
Mockingjay?
Flies?
No, I'd have to remember.
Oh, you're talking about Hunger Games.
Oh, Hunger Games. That's right. Yeah. All of a sudden, I thought of Hunger Games, where everything's controlled in that globe. Yeah, Hunger Games. Everything's controlled all in the globe
yeah,
type
you
thing.
have everything kind of controlled this way. I mean, if you
Okay.
click on that spawner tab, you can drop motorcycles in right next to you or cars. And then if you hit C, that'll get rid of that menu. And if you hit T, it'll zoom out and you can mess with that terraformer.
Yeah. So backing out of this current menu to do the terraformer.
C?
C. Okay. Now, can I change the color of what's showing on the screen here for the marker instead of something so bright? Can I turn it to something more like gray so it doesn't like hurt my eyes?
We I can definitely put that in the feature.
Oh, okay.
No, not currently. But if you hit T using
See?
Tango,
Yeah, I did.
it'll zoom you out, and it's much easier to terraform.
Yeah, I
See how
see
you're
that. Okay.
building land in?
Yeah.
Now that's just sand, so that doesn't have any foliage, but if you go up to where it says sand, you can pick a different one like meadow and paint that all and then hit refresh foliage and it'll all have trees.
Can my character swim?
No, he'll just drop to the bottom, but if you hit K,
okay.
he'll pop right back up to the top. Again, swimming mechanic exists in the game and it's already ready. It just needs to be incorporated. So this is all time thing. But yeah, you can see that custom island is now there. And if you hit your terraformer again by hitting 1, it'll bring up the menu again.
So one thing that I was seeing first here was just as far as with the land, trying to create things here. Hang on. So like, see with this, whenever I'm on top of myself like this, or I'm pressing T to back up a little more, it just looks like it needs to be like a different type of shade, so you're not just blocking everything like with it, where you can still somewhat see through it, almost like a grayish type bit. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It makes total sense. Now, if you hit, I mean, it's not a complete solution to it, but if you hit 1, it'll bring up a menu, and then those 2 sliders at the bottom of the menu will adjust the position and the size. So yeah, so that top one adjusts the size of it, and the bottom one adjusts the power as it brings up the land. See how it's bringing it up really quick now?
Yeah. Trying to see I was just trying to see how high you can go on it from that part, because what happens in games like this sometimes is if you go too far or to the limit, then it like really.
Yeah, it won't really freak out. It's pretty big. I've raised quite a giant map here and there. So actually, let me show you one thing here.
So I need to respawn.
Actually, drop out of the game for a second. I'll show you. Well, not drop out, but you can hit escape. And then if you go to Shift and Tab and go to the workshop. Like, go and find, there's a map called Spiegelland. Just subscribe to that, and here, let me show you how powerful.
Game overview.
Okay, at the bottom of the Steam, it doesn't show the overview or the overlay on your
Yeah,
screen.
It doesn't show on the screen because it's locked us for the game.
I've got to remember how it is. It's at the bottom, there's like a menu, and you can
notes,
click on
clock,
one of them says
guide,
Workshop.
Steam Workshop.
Yep.
Okay.
Click that one, and then you'll see a list of maps. Look for the one that says Spiegelland. It's a Dutch word. And you can just click on subscribe on that map, and now you have it in your game.
Which one? I see Spiegelland. That's not it.
Yeah, that's one.
Oh, that is it?
Spiegelland is it? Yeah, is the one.
Okay.
And now if you click on... Right. And now if you click on escape in the game, so go Shift Tab and go back to the game, you can click on escape, and then... Disconnect, right?
And go to host.
Right. And then create. And now up at the top corner, you'll see Spiegelland.
Yes,
right?
Now I see it, yep.
If you click that guy and click on go to world, then now you'll get a whole new map.
It is not...
Give it just a second. That button will take a minute. It's a big map.
Okay.
You hover over the go to world button. Oh, wow, that is taking a little bit longer. Maybe exit that. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, you're there. But you can see that whole map is much bigger and much different. It comes from the same island.
Right now I'm at let's say 71 frames per second. I'm running a 3060 Ti, 35.
Okay. Yeah, that's I mean it can be pretty intense. If you hit T twice, you're going to see how big this map is,
Okay.
and it'll kind of give you an idea of the scale of this thing, of what it can do. Hit it one more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, again, and then that map now I can jump on in a multiplayer game and hop into that same map
Okay.
on your thing. So you can create whatever map you want, and then everybody can come there and play.
So I'm trying to see the better way of being able to extend out the edges without falling in the water.
So for like terraforming,
Yeah.
okay, so first you'd want to pull out your terraformer, and then there's three different modes in the terraformer. One is surface, that one kind of raises it like you saw. And there's another one that is called smooth, that will kind of smooth out ridges and stuff. And then
Okay.
the last one is called flatten. Um, um, and when you put that one in, it puts a cube of land in. It doesn't preview it correctly, but that one will give you kind of flats, and so you can kind of extend. Yeah, between using those three tools, you can do whatever kind of you want with it.
So I see here right now where like the sand and the other labels and so forth. Uh,
Uh-huh. Yeah, if you pick
with
one of
how
those,
it's
then that's what you draw with.
with how it's black and so forth, you could select any of those. It's not grayed out or anything. It's just that it's just real dark on the font.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Something that needs to be changed. It's
Let me
on
get
the
my
list.
glasses here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, even if just having options to be able to to change so on our own side or so forth on it from that part,
Well, okay,
just like
so
how FPS games
just like
have where you can adjust the the frame for your line of sight, your aim sight or so forth, just something like that to toggle.
yeah, yeah, and like I say, we're working on a different HUD mode for that and for the terraformer, and it's the HUD is definitely under a lot of change.
Okay.
Everything that you see about the HUD won't be really in the next while,
Okay.
so. But yeah, if you use grid, it's going to use that type of surface, and then if you use like the yeah, just for some reason I don't know why that brush stays that way. Just hit one, and it'll bring back your menus again,
Okay.
and then now you should be able to change it again.
So then when the flatten is if you have a hill already, you can just flatten it. Oh no, that's just
Yeah,
the
well, it's a
so it's not
cube.
flattening it out.
Yeah,
It's just the cube that you have that you
yeah,
can place there. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. But again, like if you hit save, that this whole map becomes your local map.
Uh-huh.
So you can change it however you want, and then upload it to Workshop and share it that way as well too.
Okay.
Now, so another element of the game is that little drone that's following you around. If you hit different keys on the number pad, he'll do different things. Like if you hit, I believe if you hit 5, he'll shit a ball. And if you hit 8, he'll go off and do a firework, or 9,
Hmm.
one of the two. Just something to mess around with too. I gotta step away for just a second. I'll be back in a bit.
All right, not a problem. All right, y'all. So what do y'all want us to try on here within which features at this point? So we see here with the crafting, there's different building plans we can do. I was trying first with the terraformer, trying to see how we can expand out the land and so forth. What would y'all want us to try to do first? So the first thing I saw when I saw the vehicles and so forth is I wanted to build some type of ramp, some type of track. Now, if I press T to back up, that was the dev Orange 44. That's the voice you were hearing. So now I have it where it is just these standard blocks here. Now you can actually press tab. He said you go into not tab. Hang on. Was it T I? One of these buttons. Here we go. Looks like it was C. So C, and then I can change the time of day. So it's brighter out again. Then press C. Getting the hang of this. So what I was trying to do is seeing if I can just keep jumping. You know, like Minecraft, where you just keep jumping and we keep putting the blocks below you. And I'm trying to see how to line this up to connect them. Okay. So he says to not be able to see this again, the light wise, I can just change off of it. So what if I just take this out of my inventory for now? So I'm trying to see how, I'm trying to get familiar with how things build up off of here. Because these are just regular blocks right now. Now again, he said T to back up more to be able to see it. I think I'm trying to get more familiar of seeing from my character building rather than building from outside of the character. So now, if we forget about our character for a moment and have this type of view, now we can expand off, and then we try to learn of how to flatten this. And stacking on top. Okay. So, let's see what else we got. Try the smooth tool. So if we go smooth, can we, it smoothens it out. So it sort of, if the character is up against something, it sort of repops the character view to where then you can't move. So I'm trying to get off of the trees for a moment. Random respawn. Let's check controls for a second here.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
There
you
we
again
go.
now.
Oh,
You
okay.
muted
Sorry
for a
about that.
second?
Yeah, well, I don't know what it was, but it's
Okay.
Discord. I hate Discord. I have a
Ah.
passionate hate for Discord. Anyway, yeah, so smooth will kind of smooth everything out in between the height layers. If you're looking to kind of separate the camera from the character, because the trees will sometimes have it
Yeah.
populate in, what I normally do is just so the mouse wheel also zooms. But if you hit T and get it close, you can hike up to a high spot and then hit T a couple times. And that'll give you a much better way
Okay.
to kind of manipulate the territory.
What was the parachute button? I was trying to look at the controls for that just
Z.
now. Z? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so we got Z. Now, whenever you parachute, it like twirls around or something whenever you use the parachute? If you
That's
hold left
possible.
or right?
I just did a big update on the motion system, and that's what handles
Okay.
that parachute. In fact, I can see that parachute is not the one we normally use. So yeah, that's
Okay.
probably. Now, if you hit C, you can actually hit fly in the world menu,
Okay.
and then hit Q, and it'll give you altitude.
C, fly.
And then the more you hit Q, the higher you'll fly.
Okay.
That's another you can terraform too, because you can fly up into the sky and then just terraform from there.
Okay. So, sorry for like completely wrecking everything here. I was just trying to see about creating the straight line of terrain and stuff like that, showing what can be created on that. I am not
It's
the
it's
artist,
your
as you can
map at
tell.
this point, man. You can't mess with the Steam, so you can just
Okay.
reload. If you reload, you can pop right back to the original map, or if you save it, it's yours, and you
What button
can
was
do
it to
with it what
raise?
you want. Raise land?
No, no, to raise the person again.
Oh, Q.
Q. Okay. I don't know why I was pressing C.
And it's like stepped. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you got to
So
do it
you
a
don't
bunch of
hold it, you
times
got to
if you want
tap
to
it.
fly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the way I want the flying system to work, certainly, but
Okay.
it's kind of temporary just to get them some altitude because it was a pain in the butt trying to hike your way out of the ocean, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you can see from this level, you can change the ground quite a bit and not have the camera problems you were having before.
Ah, I'm trying to turn it. So I was trying to make a little loop here.
And once again, you made a penis. I get it. It's no
No,
problem.
I didn't.
You can see though, it's just massive amounts of land that you're moving around.
Yeah.
And if you have foliage on that land, then you hit refresh foliage and all the trees will pop up on it too. Now you're using
So
sand, so it
yeah,
won't
so
have
this is just
foliage.
the sand. That's why it's coming the way it is from that part. But
Right. Well, you have to refresh foliage to have the foliage show up, but yeah.
yeah,
You can basically the same way that you're doing right now is how I built that big red rock canyon in the
okay.
background. Same methodology.
So
And
you
then I just
said
went hiking through it and carved
you
paths through it and stuff like that.
trying to get used to how fast it expands out when you press something on it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
it's
just tapping instead of holding it
kind
down.
of weird to work with a whole world that you can change. It's not something that it
Yeah.
takes a little while to get used to, for sure.
So like one thing I'd want to do
And
is
then
obviously
also,
carve something like NAG or something.
right, you can. If you just hit shift, it will dig. So if you shift and click, it'll dig into it.
Shift and click. Ah, okay. Up. It crashed.
Now you can make whole game crashed.
Yeah, it says the UE DCF game has crashed and will close.
Hmm. Well, just reopen it. I'm not
Yep,
sure
I'll load it
why.
back up.
That's if you have okay, so if you have a couple of those crashes, let me know.
Okay.
If it keeps showing up,
Is there a
sometimes
crash
those
log or something that you
crashes.
need?
No, no, no. I can kind of tell what's happening. I know exactly what happened there. If
Okay.
sometimes if you dig under a certain type of foliage, it will cause certain video cards to have an issue with it. It's a pretty rare thing, but I have found certain foliages can cause it to happen a lot. So if I happen to have one that's causing it to happen a lot, I want to take it out. But
Okay.
it's easy to fix. So
Yeah, and I had one of the terrain selected, and I guess it defaulted back to sand after that. So I was just trying
yeah,
to
it's
expand
possible. And
something out.
you'd been back and forth in there with the terraformer quite a bit.
Yeah.
Normally, the way that the terraformer works is that that menu should be up. So there's a bunch of different factors that could have changed that
Okay.
around.
So I'm back on the small island here for a moment because I want to be able to show more of what we can create from scratch here, of
All
just
right, so if you
expanding
at the
things out.
top, if you hang out at the top where you're standing, and then hit T twice,
Okay.
and then do your terraforming, you're going to be able to terraform a lot easier.
Okay. Now, is there? So we've already seen the terraforming part of where you can expand out the land, stack on top, and all that stuff. So we got that part down. I'm gonna create one flat surface here just to have something to build on. And then, is there some other building structures you would want to go over with us?
Well, if you go into the crafting menu on the personal crafting, then there's the building plan, which will allow you to build architecture,
Okay.
and then the upgrade hammer, which will allow you to build or upgrade the different pieces. And then there's also the crafting bench, which has guns and farming and power and beds and cooler, just everything on it.
Do
So it's
we
just
get to make stuff go boom?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. There's guns in the game.
We get to make stuff go boom.
In fact, what's really
Sorry.
cool is the architecture. You can have like strap C4 to the architecture and blow up the houses that your friends build and stuff like that.
Okay, so I got to press T again to get back closer. And
Mhm.
4. So we're familiar with this from a lot of other games as far as little workbenches. Now, it's not E, you
Right.
said it's F, right?
Yeah, everything in Interact is pretty much F except the cars are still E. I'll probably wind up changing them. And
Okay,
then
so
the some of the you've got the crafting bench, you've got it.
yeah.
Go into open again
So I got to
and then go
don't
to
press F
the
on it?
let well, no, there's another craft. Yeah, you go ahead and F.
Yeah, pressed F, okay.
And then on the far side, there's another crafting tab.
Ah, on the right. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know where
Yeah.
to look. So
Yeah, that's
here's
your
where you can
personal.
craft everything
Right,
from it.
right. And then it just pops into the inventory and you can drag it over.
So I see planters and stuff like that. So can you actually grow stuff?
Yes,
Does
There's
it
a full
grow
farming
instantly
system
or
in
does it
there.
take time?
No, it takes time and it can be harvested over and over and over again. And yeah, so eventually you'll be able to put in your own plants as well. Um, that power system that you see at the bottom there is also like you can generate power and use it for lights and things like that as well. So the
Okay.
idea is to expand it to allow for basically anything that you'd want in there.
But if I get like corn plant, it's not gonna plant itself. You have to get all the bed for
No,
it and
go to
so forth, right?
inventory.
Okay.
Go to the inventory at the top there, and then grab that corn and drag it into your inventory,
Okay.
and then right click on it, and you can click place. I think it's place, and then now
Oh, I
go
think I just
back,
placed
hit
it on the
tab.
workbench.
Uh, yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, it looks like it's on the workbench, but as you can see, you have a plant there. Now, right now, it doesn't have light, which is stupid because the sun isn't interacting,
Yeah.
but that's something I have to work out.
Okay.
It's going to take a little bit of time. But there's a grow lamp that will make it see light. And then you can
Okay.
water it and it'll grow from that little plant to a big tomato plant. And then you can harvest it or dig it up or whatever you want.
So it was F. All right. So everyone, whenever you go to the workbench, once you have the workbench created, you press F, and then you have that information on the right side. So as you see here, we have our inventory now and the things that we can craft. So the inventory is what's on the storage bench. Then we have the crafting part, and there's multiple things here that we can craft. So just like your regular crafting games and stuff like that, like 7 Days to Die and all those, you got your chest that you can make. I'm assuming the chest would have uh, item like inventory space that you can put in and stuff like that. Is that
Yep.
accurate?
Hmm. Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly.
So you
Yeah.
have. Go ahead.
In this sense, it's very, very standard for video games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the power system's a little weird because you got to wire stuff, but it's actually kind of fun that way too. So you like, get a wind turbine and a battery and some cable, and you have to string it all together and stuff, get it working.
What do you have on controller support for this yet? Is there any actual controller support, or it's just hey, the
So
controller
controller
works?
support, because of the nature of the terraformer, it's a little bit difficult to add it, and so we're constantly working with it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it is coming. You'll see that the controller will like jump, and it'll do some basic stuff. It'll drive the cars. So yes, eventually it'll have full controller support. Again, it's more about like trying to figure out how the new elements should map into a controller. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So also part of something that I thought the community could really help me with, because it's something where it's like I want the controller to feel good to everybody. And so I'm kind of looking for that community to tell me, oh no, it should be on this button, or it should be this, or it should be customizable, or whatever. You know what I mean?
How frequently should we be expecting new development updates? Is what
Well,
Solarium's asking.
I'll drop an update generally about once a week.
Once a week.
Sometimes I'll give myself 2 weeks, but this is pretty much what I do full time. I was a system engineer for 30 years, and my last gig was with Carvana, and I set up one of their bigger plants, and I made a good chunk of money. And I'd been playing Conan and was so frustrated with the video game industry nickeling, diming everybody
Hmm.
for skins and walls and who knows what else. And so I said, well, what would it take to build a platform where people could have it just all open? And so that's how it kind of started. And so yeah, this is what I do. So yeah, I put out an update usually once a week is what I try. Like Saturday I did 103.
Well, you're talking to the right community on that part because, like I said, we have generations, different generations within the community wise, but a lot of us know from back when you were able to make your own map and not worry about anybody buying a map or buying this or buying that. It was you bought
That's
a
exactly
game,
what I want to do.
you bought a game for like $60 back then, and the game was yours. You could make mods for it, maps for it, character mods, and all that stuff. Uh, Put music in. You can make a full on mod. That's how we did it with back then with Quake 3 and Call of Duty, the original Call of Duties and stuff like that. It was all open. Now it's like everything's all locked down and you have to buy map packs and all that. You can't get the one that you want. You can't create your own thing. And so this really does open up to that. So that's one thing that's already catching my attention and other people's
Yeah,
within the
I mean,
community.
if you think about the size of a Fortnite map or a Call of Duty map, this thing could recreate those maps very easily. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like it's limited. And then, people would say, "Oh, well, the biomes are limited," but actually that biome is under the same philosophy of the rest of the game, that eventually you'll be able to pick what trees you have on different landscapes, what rocks you have, and then so you'll be able to create your own biomes. So some of those are stylized and some of those are grid and stuff like that. But eventually, you'll be able to set up whatever you want in your world. So you'll have 50 of your own terrains, and again, those are all shareable. So because
Yeah.
they're all just, man, they're all just digital file settings. It's ridiculous that the companies get to charge us for that.
Yeah.
So I'm from that same old school. I'm not Quake 3 though. I'm Quake 1. You know
Oh
what
no,
I
no,
mean?
yeah,
But
I go that far. So I go back to even before Quake One and all those other ones from the early '90s, late '80s type gaming type bit. But then when it went into the whole designing part and map creation and all that stuff, I didn't do that until about Quake Three.
yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Like I used to do mods for Jedi Knight back in the day, and I used to mod Xbox Vice City on the Xbox, on the original Xbox. And so I definitely know the modding community and over years, and it makes me sick. Like I don't know if you've heard about, but Rockstar recently had a modder that created basically Liberty City and put GTA 5 mechanics on it. So
Mm,
it looked great and it was amazing, and Rockstar made him pull it down. And it was like, what are
yeah.
you doing? This kid's adding content. And so it's never made sense to me. So I thought, well, the minute that you have a system where it's open like that, they're not really going to have much to say about it because
Yeah.
again, if you think about a third person shooter map or a first person shooter map, those maps are pretty easy to build compared in this system. You'd be able to duplicate it and make it very quickly. So, you know, and on top of it, because it's iteratable, because you can download this now and somebody can take this and make it into something completely new without having to rebuild it, that changes the speed of creation a lot too.
So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to create a flat surface, like a flat oval or something, to be able to just do a regular racetrack. And then I want to be able to show everyone how we create the vehicles and then actually test drive it on a track. But I'm
So
pressing it and
the
it's going all over the place. Not,
yeah, the flatten tool is crazy. So what I would suggest is let's hit escape and
okay,
let's just create a new island. So let's just drop
copy
out and
that.
do a host. Yep. And
So
then
host,
just yep, host and then new island. Your video's fine. That's fine.
because I already know what all the questions I'm going to get here in the community wise and what they're going to want to test and so forth like that. And so that's the first thing that I'm going to want to try to do because someone's going to
Sure.
want to try to do like a dirt track race or something, especially with the
Yep.
motorcycles I saw on there. So they're going to want to have
Yep.
like little ramps they can do and stuff like that and try to
Yep.
see how we can control it properly to do so.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So go ahead and click on go to world, and then we're just going to stand on the top of the hill and we're going to
Okay.
pull out our terraformer and
Okay.
or we're
So I'm
going to
at the top.
terraformer.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, build the terraformer. So
Okay.
go to your tab
Yep.
and then
Crafting.
craft and make a terraformer. And then this time when you pull the terraformer up, just select flatten and zoom all the way out.
Okay. So terraformer, surface, flatten, and then you want
And
me
then
to
zoom
zoom all
all
the
the
way
way
out.
out with T.
Okay.
And then just like off in the water, just click once or twice and you're going to see the cube start to rise out of the water, and then just build your
Okay.
little area right out of the water. Just real gentle like.
So okay.
Also, if you take the top slider on that menu and
Mhm.
slide it all the way big, it'll make one big cube. That'll make a one big surface for you.
Say the top.
Not
Repeat that again. I'm
yeah, the
sorry.
slider. The slider, the top slider. So there's two sliders at the bottom. No, that's the menu.
Oh, sorry. What do you mean
Oh, you're
top
good.
slider?
Oh, go
Oh,
back
you
to
mean
that.
this
Yeah,
part? You mean the actual bar? That this here?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that guy. Wrap it all the way out to the end, and you'll have a giant cube. And then you
Okay.
just click off into the water a couple times, and you'll find it.
Okay. Now, do you have a tool that can then smoothen and flatten to connect the two, like when
Yeah,
you
so
see the
the
speed
smooth
bumps?
tool or the surface tool can connect them.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have two that are like that, you can just like hike up there and then do the
So
smooth
you
tool along
said
or what.
Z to raise your character?
No, it's
No,
so you have to go into C and hit fly, and then it's Q to raise your character.
Q.
Z
Okay.
is the parachute.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So here's a quick question for you then. When you're trying to do this creative part of adding the lands and everything around, do you have an option uh, you don't have like just an open map fly view type bit to where you can then just drag it around that way and then go back to the character or anything?
So at current, no, but
Okay.
that's a feature that's coming to that little drone. So eventually
Okay.
you'll be able to take on the perspective of the drone, and you'll be able to fly wherever you want with the drone.
Okay.
So yeah, eventually that camera view is coming, but it's
Okay.
just not in there yet.
Because I just have some difficulties trying to just set it up as a regular terrain, regular track wise to
It
just be able
it
to drive a
takes
quick
a
road
little
on.
bit of getting used to
Yeah.
because it is so that tool in particular, the flatten tool, is just so fast that
Yeah, you got to
it
click once
creates these
for it.
giant things. Yeah, it creates these giant things so fast that it's difficult. But like I say, you can also once you have whatever
I
laid out
see.
wherever you want to be, you can also build a bed there and make that your spawn point so that
Okay.
now you can always be there too, right? And there's teleport in there too, so you can put in the coordinates where you want to go and teleport there every time as well. So it gives you the full freedom to move around already. It's just you have to, it's a little bit more manual.
Solarian wants to know, is there a development roadmap that lets us know when to expect certain features?
um, I mean, I have on my YouTube channel, on Orania 44's YouTube channel, I do live development sessions, and the roadmap is referred to a lot there.
Okay.
It's an internal document, so I don't know that I'd be sharing it with everybody, but I can like um, I can, I can, yeah.
So the
There's a
question just is if you
README
have
that'll
anything
show.
public wise, that any anything that you can,
I can
any
certainly produce
official stuff that you
something.
put
I
out
didn't
there.
realize that people haven't asked so far and haven't
Okay.
wanted to be included. But yeah, if they get a hold of me on Discord, I've been thinking about bringing my Discord channel back online so people can have feedback that
Okay.
way. Yeah, it's I mean, on the YouTube, you can see in my development feed, you can see the roadmap and what I'm working on and that kind of thing. I mean, I literally do my dev sessions on YouTube live a lot of the time.
So my problem right
Well,
now
that's
is a standard thing you have with any gamer is I'm trying to remember what key does what, and I'm pressing this, pressing that, and then I'm accidentally pressing the left click too many times, and then I just built a tower again.
yeah, yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, like I say, the tutorial we definitely want to work into the construct
Okay.
eventually. So eventually that little drone will teach you how the whole game works in that construct level.
Okay.
But yeah, the key commands, I mean, you can always like hit escape and pull them up and look them up there, but there are
Yeah.
some that are just kind of, again, this is another thing. It's like some of those I don't know that I like where they are. Like the kill key, I don't know if I like that one. The C key for the world menu, I don't know if I like that one
Hmm.
there. You know, and so I'm really kind of looking for the community to tell me like these would be the best spots for them to be. But you can map them to other things too eventually too, right? So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
like my main
But
thing right now is as I'm trying to be able to create this and put things where I want and so forth, I can't turn properly the way that I want to turn because it's basing it off of my character. But you're saying that that would be adjusted once you have the drone or whatever in there?
yeah, so basically,
So
eventually,
like,
what will happen is the drone will become the terraforming and the building tool.
okay.
And basically, what will happen is that you'll be able to take the drone and then just go over and fly over the water and put that preview exactly where you want it and click once and have it show up. So
Okay.
it'll allow for a much more finite control. I mean, it's not too difficult once you get used to it. Like I can sit on the top of that island and wreck out a huge thing really quick.
Yeah.
If you're looking to do like, oh, you know what? Here's a good idea. If you go Shift Tab and you look for a map called DigiRealm,
Okay.
that one will give you a nice flat area that I was going to actually build a racetrack on. So that'd be perfect for what you're
All
doing.
right, let's go ahead and do that. So what I was trying to do there is I started once it got too high with the terrain, I started to try to see if I could just loop it around in circles and then slowly raise up to that very top. But then
Uh-huh.
now my next question then would be how do I smoothen that out enough to turn it into an actual
So
track?
So if you on the flat where it says flatten, if you switch that to smooth,
And let me back
that'll
out of
give
the
you a
shift.
different
So
where
go
it says
to
flatten, little menu at the top right corner
yeah, I'm trying to. It's just
or top left corner. Oh, hit tab if you don't have your
yeah.
oh
So it was on flatten already, and you said select what?
smooth.
Smooth.
the middle one.
Okay.
It's still on flat. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Now,
it's like a 5 second delay.
yeah, it seems to be. Okay, if you hit tab now, you should be able to like now just run it over that. Now click while
Okay.
you're or hold the mouse button while you're
So
running it
hold it
over it
down
like
and it
that.
should smoothen it.
Yep. See how it's smoothing it out. You can
Yeah, it
also
looks like it
adjust the
is.
strength on that too. You can see how it's
The
definitely
bottom
taking the
line.
ridges. Yeah.
Okay. Now I can see that as an advantage there, where you want it to be a little bit of bumpy wise if you turn it to the dirt road type bit and all that. So I can see that.
Right.
Trying to
Hmm.
smoothen it out now. But see, as I'm doing this, it just feels like I'm locked in position because it's tightened where I can't even move it too far out from where I'm seeing because of my character.
Right. Yeah. But if you hit T, and it'll give you a little bit more freedom, and
Yeah.
T again will give you a little bit more. But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be worked out.
Okay. Okay, so I was now able to show everybody else on this of how to smoothen that out. Now you see it's actually connecting. That POS that I made is actually starting to look even smoother now and starting to actually move
Yeah, to
into
be a
something.
hill that you could
Yeah,
drive up. Hmm.
yeah. So we're going to go ahead and back out of this for a moment. And you wanted me to go to I needed to press shift tab and then you wanted me to go
Yeah,
to which map?
workshop. Yeah, workshop, and it's called DigiRealm is the map. If you subscribe to that one, it'll give you a nice flat
That's
plane that you can mess around on.
Where's DigiRealm? I see new dig.
New
Is there a
Digi,
search for it?
new Digi. Sorry, new
Oh, it's new
Digi. Yeah,
Digi?
that's
Okay.
the one. Yeah, sorry.
So we subscribe to it.
Yep.
And then now I'll back out and load up from that map.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
so once I load up to the map, at what point can players actually join into the game? When it just
At
right when
that
you
point.
host?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing is they're not going to see any changes that you're making to your map at that time.
Yeah.
So if they join your game, they're not going to be able to see the map changes. But you can shoot each other, you can drive together, you can do whatever you want.
So once if they join, does it put the map itself then into a completely different state to where then it's a playable state rather than a creation state or what?
No, you can still change it as the owner of the map. And even the player, from what I understand, the client can even change it and then save it as their own map. You're just not going to see the changes back and forth between the two of you.
So you won't see the
Now,
changes live.
right, that's correct. But if you
Okay.
save it up to workshop and everybody gets it together, then you have a map that everybody can play on.
So I just want to clarify this. So if you're in the game at the same time and
Hmm.
you decided to make an additional ramp to try it, in order to do that, the other person wouldn't see it if you're connected both connected at the same time. The other person wouldn't see that change. So then you would have to back out, upload it, and or save it to the the Steam or so
Workshop.
forth, the workshop, and then load the server again.
That's correct.
So if you want to play together on it from that part, it's not necessarily the designing part. It would be more for when you're actually playing on the map itself, whether you're driving the vehicles or so forth. Would that also
Right.
include like the crops and stuff you plant, or what all would that include and
No,
not
the
include for?
crops are multiplayer. So
Okay,
everything else is multiplayer. The only thing that's not multiplayer on real time is the actual terraforming. But now you can, so like if you were to say you're on a map and you have a bunch of trees and it won't allow you to build something, you could smooth that out and get rid of those trees and save the map locally and build a house there for yourself. And that person's still going to kind of see the house there. There might be a tree going through it. Does that make sense? But so you can make changes. It's just they're not going to see it until it gets uploaded to Workshop and then everybody refreshes on the latest. So it's not to say that you can't make changes. It just means that the clients don't see those changes. So here at the curtain, you can click on the new digi, and that'll load up that new digi map, which is that flat map that you'll
Okay.
see. It's actually just
Sorry, I was
exactly
typing
what
that
you
as a
asked
note
for
to
it
the
because.
community.
Yep, no, for sure.
And it was D for the parachute. There's our parachute now, everybody.
And you can
So,
see
how do
there's a
you
big
steer with it,
thing
with
over
the
there.
parachute?
So the parachute is WASD, just like the other stuff.
Yeah. So it's just like a straight down parachute at this point, or you can go forward, I see, but it doesn't let me really steer. Oh, it lets me
Well, if you
steer.
hit the
It's just real sensitive.
yeah, like I say, that's
Okay.
this just got updated. That's why it looks so buggy too. So
Okay.
that'll be changed out a lot. But yeah, there's a double jump too, just to let you
Yeah, I see that. That's what I was testing. I'm like, okay, where's my jetpack now?
know. Exactly, exactly, exactly. You got to realize I'm a gamer too, so
Yeah.
like none of this stuff is lost on me. I know exactly what it needs. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Oh no, I understand 100%. And but that's what a lot of us gamers want is we want it going back to the community part. I mean, if everything's all set where you can create your own world and put your own multiplayer gameplay on it from that part within this could be something in the future that people would pay $60 for. But it needs to
and
be.
but they
Go ahead.
never will. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that right now. They will always pay 15.99 for this. This is old school game
Yeah.
where you buy the game and you get everything the game entails.
Yeah.
So eventually there'll be a headless server so you can keep your world going 24/7 and have an AI component that lives there.
Mhm.
And that will be a separate charge because that's an actual headless server.
Yeah.
So that's an other piece of software. But other than that, this game will never charge you more money. No.
And that's
It's
definitely a lot.
fifteen ninety
Yeah.
nine, and that's what you get, and you
Yeah.
get everything in it. So now, since you're on a flat area, if you open your building tool, you can like build architecture and stuff like that.
Okay. Did you want to join in on this one?
I can pop in.
You don't have to.
No, no, no. That's a great way to show it off. So
Yeah. So like right now though, as you're joining in, if I wanted to make a racetrack itself, you're not going to see anything from this point forward with it then.
no, I wouldn't see it unless again you saved it and
Yeah.
then I downloaded that one. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
what
you
about if
can't
I
make.
added vehicles?
I'll
You
see the
said
vehicles.
okay.
Yeah.
So what I need to do right now is I need to go ahead and do crafting. We're going to get the crafting the bench. Now, I was looking for the vehicles initially. Which tool creates the vehicles?
So if you go to the C menu, I just popped in. If you go to the C menu and then under spawner, there's the
Hmm.
cars.
Ah, okay. I was looking for it as if you were actually crafting the car or something.
And eventually they will be that way, but right now they're, yeah.
Okay. So I select the bike. I select the bike MX.
Right. And then if you click on, yeah, there you go, you got it.
Okay. And then we just.
Again, the vehicles have some collision issues, but they work. And you have to hit E on the vehicle. There you
Oh, that's loud. There we go. Backing up a little bit. I didn't do that. I swear I
Yeah,
didn't
you
do it.
did.
How do I get up off the bike? Oh, I died? Okay. So I gotta
I
respawn.
just hit.
So if it crashes like that, does your character just die instantly or
So that's where the car pack isn't fully worked in yet.
okay.
Once the car pack's fully worked in, obviously your character will actually get on the bike. And when you blow up, you'll take damage and get a ragdoll effect that happens.
Hmm.
That's all in there. It's just not full built in yet.
All right, so it does climb if you're at a ledge. So you jump up, you're at the edge, you press space, it climbs.
Yep. That's
Okay. So what is this that you're building right now? Okay, so you're building the walls. I thought you said I wouldn't be able to see that. Well, you're saying the terrain I can't see, but
that's
the
correct.
building structure itself you can. Okay.
All architecture can be seen and shared. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm building a crafting bench in here
So
and
I'm just going to
all the
remove the
stuff.
terraformer, so I don't have that anymore. So don't use a terraformer. Anything from the terraformer you would not see, correct?
That's you can still use it. I'm just not going to see it. That's
No.
correct.
Okay. I'm trying to talk. I'm on mute. My bad. So you're creating this from the tool itself, the hammer, or
What's that? Yeah, that there's a building plan tool
the
in
wood
your personal
foundation?
crafting. And then yeah, the wood foundation is what I did there and then
Okay.
I'm using the crafting bench to build this power stuff that I'm putting up here. You can kind of see how this works because this is kind of neat in my book anyway. You
What
can
is that
actually
you're making?
control.
Oh, the power.
Well,
So yeah, so you're
yeah,
showing
so
the
if you
example that you can put the generator on there and actually put power to items such as this.
yeah, so right, yeah, so basically I'm it's a little wonky to get everything. Yeah, now you'll see the battery is great gaining power from the windmill.
Okay. So you can't place it on top of your body. Got it. I was placing the walls over here. Two. Y'all see what he's doing? No, defuse, defuse. Okay, look, as a gamer, I'm disappointed now. You ready for this? I stood up next to it and you destroyed the terrain thing there. It didn't blow up in my face, it didn't push my body back, nothing. Come on.
Okay, it will eventually. It doesn't yet. No, you're right.
All right. So how did you get the? Oh
If you
no!
need to get
Everybody, you
shot,
ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Nah, nah, nah. We're turning this into PUBG. Hang on. Hang on,
see
y'all.
how well think about how hard would it be to build a PUBG map in this though? It'd be
Exactly.
very hard. Exactly.
So we go into crafting, and that's the type of thing that I'm trying to show everyone here what all it can actually become. I mean,
Right,
it
yeah,
sounds like
absolutely.
you don't have it that limited at all. It's more of just as some things get easier to make and everything from that point.
Yeah, it really is. There's no limits on it. That's the whole idea is to bust the limits off. If I
Yeah.
find a limit, I'm chasing it to try to get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Okay, so if I wanted to create that,
A gun?
I got yeah, I got to do that from the workbench, right? The
Crafting
craft.
bench.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just got it. I put it in there. I press one. Okay. Now we open it with F, inventory, crafting, the P1911, M4A4. What weapons you got here? C4. Now, does a C4 actually hurt a person or no?
Yeah, that
Because I was
was
standing
yeah,
next
it'll
to
hurt
it
a
and it didn't
person.
destroy me.
It probably did some damage. Right now I've got the health UI turned off, but
Okay.
that little drone, if your health gets too low, the light that comes off the drone will turn red.
Okay.
That so eventually he'll be your health indicator, but yeah.
All right. So all the weapons are at the top. So this isn't going to require any type of inventory or so forth, or things to actually do mining or anything like that to be able to create it. You said you just create it, and there you go.
Um, so eventually, if the player wants their world to have some kind of resource system, I plan on giving them the ability to put that in there. But no, by default, everything will just be build whatever you want to build. I don't see the point in limiting it. If people want to limit it for their personal experiences,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
Okay.
But again, it's more about giving them the option to say, I do want to deal with wood or I don't want to deal with it. The
Yeah.
engine can definitely do it. So in this iteration, it's just turned off. Eventually, you'll have the ability to turn it on if you want it.
Okay. And now, one thing that I just found out while testing this, creating the weapons, is if it's in the inventory in the crafting bench, unless I did something wrong, you can't bring it straight to your belt. You have to bring it to your inventory, your backpack first, and then bring it to your belt.
I agree. I think that's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a limitation.
Sorry, I am really good at finding things in games. Although I'm surprised
No,
I haven't fell
it's
off the map yet.
it's
one of
it's
one of my
I appreciate
specialties
you
is
going
falling
through
off
it.
of
I
maps.
really
One of
do.
my specialties is falling off of maps. I had one
Well, you've
game I
been in the
actually fell
bottom of
off
the
a map,
ocean more than once.
but that wasn't falling off the map yet. Don't make me search for it, all right? I will fall off the map and get a memory leak error because of it. All right, so I'm trying to get my shotgun, but I can't equip it right now because of my backpack. So I put it to that. Let's put the pistol down, put the shotgun over. Now I can equip it. So now I'm going to press 2. Mitch says future update would say what hang on, let me just read what he said here first. So what future update would you say is the single most difficult progression update that would be the hardest to make? Is what Mitch is asking.
I don't. Okay. Like, what's the biggest thing that we have coming? Is that kind
Well,
of?
so like what it looks like the way he has in the question is what do you see your biggest hurdle of what you plan on adding into the game in the future?
So all the core systems are built and added. The biggest hurdle. There's a couple things that I'm really not happy with. The character customization system is by a company called Ready Player Me, and I don't like it.
Mm.
So I eventually want it to be much more like the Saints Row boss creator, where you could create any type of character you wanted to have. And so I was much more about that. Um, and so that's part of it. The other part of it is that I think that the biggest part that's coming is like headless server is going to have a deep seek AI component that runs the drone in that world, in that persistent world. And that drone is going to be trained on how to play the game and build and create whole worlds and drop AI opponents and basically run the game for you like a DM, right? Like a dungeon
Mm-hmm.
master. Um, but on top of that, that DeepSeek is also going to learn about the players and then also educate them. So I mean, this is a game that can literally help you with your homework, right? It's also that drone is also going to become like the camera component as well. So you could literally, like in your stream, have the drone camera following you around and you're playing in first person, but the drone is sending out the stream. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh,
And
looks like
it'll
I
be able to
need
do like
ammo.
highlighting and all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see what's happening. But right now, difficulty wise, there's not a whole lot that I'm like technologically I don't know how to get done.
Mm-hmm.
All just more about time.
So I'm creating the ammo right now for the shotgun. Is it creating
Mhm.
just one bullet at a time, or because it just says times one?
No, it should be 100 For
Okay.
the for each of the bullets, I have it set to 100. I think. If
Okay.
it's not, let me know and I'll
Looks like
fix
it's
it.
50. It's just how it showed when it was
Oh,
creating
okay.
it times one,
Yeah,
but
for
the
the
times one is
yeah,
50. So yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So now I can go in here. Now, one thing I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking, but one thing I wanted to let you know if you don't know it already is if you crouch, you can't see yourself anymore.
Yeah, actually, that's part of the motion pack update. I noticed
Okay.
that while you were doing it. I
Yeah,
saw you
where
keep doing that.
your character started also teleporting downward from the second floor down to the first.
Right. Yeah.
So as my character had the issue of it disappearing, then yours even brought down.
Yeah, we were linked on that. We were
Yeah.
catching some different stuff.
Okay.
That's probably because the drone will go to the active character. So
Okay.
that could be possibly why that all came out. I actually dumped out of the game and dumped back in just to
Yeah, I see that.
refresh. Oh, that's weird.
What
Okay.
happened?
Just my map came in kind of weird when I first popped in, but
Now, does this have a first person perspective change at all?
no. Yes, it's built into the system, but because of the Ready Player Me,
I'm
not being
deliberately
able to.
I'm deliberately missing. I'm not that bad of a name. Sorry, go ahead.
um, it's yeah, like I say, you can change. It's in the system. The Ready Player Me really limits the ability to do good first person shooter or first person view, so I have it
hmm
turned off right now.
Okay.
But eventually, I hope to, with our new character creator, which is like the one thing that's still up in the air. Once we get that in, I want to be able to have it so that it can do a first person spin off, and so it will be a first person shooter as well.
I mean, I like TPP as well from that part. I mean, with PUBG, I do constantly TPP because I like especially for streaming purposes, I like the whole thing of being able to show the character when they do the emote dances or when I'm doing stunts with the vehicle instead of having to go into the replay and then pull it to third person or anything like that. So, but
Right,
I was just
right,
looking
yeah.
at the shooting perspective now of this instead of the creating portion, and I notice if I run around and look behind me, it shoots behind me without actually having to turn my character to shoot to do so.
That's correct. Yeah, it's eventually. So that's an aiming lock bug.
Okay.
And as soon as so there's two motion systems that are at play in this game. One from a pack called Survival Game Kit, which is all the
hmm
survival stuff you see in the guns, and then the other one is called Adventure Motion Kit. And that adds the double jumps and the zip lines and all of that. So they're not quite fully merged together right now, and the reason for that is there was a big update on the motion pack that I did last week on the 104. So it'll, like I say, all of these things will straighten out more and more and more. So,
Okay.
like I say, the cars are a little off right now, but they're going to get much tighter over this next week. They're on the short list.
Which
The
vehicle would you
cars
say is the best as far as driving around right now, the smoothness and so forth, to be able to
right
really
now,
express and show here?
the best one to ride is either the bike cruiser or the bike naked.
Okay. And I think I did the dirt bike one, so I got to go in here. We do the. Oh no, I'm doing it wrong. I got to go
It's
to
in the there's I
T.
put one over here. Here's the cruiser over
Oh, okay.
here. And then if and then the naked one's here too.
Okay. So this is the
Either one of
cruiser
those.
one. Now, how do you think it turns? I'm trying to turn the A and
Lost
B.
that?
Hang on 1 second. I gotta get off the bike. There. That is really loud.
Yeah, I want to work through the volume stuff here soon too. I'll probably work on that this week.
Yeah,
But yeah, the WASAB will change the direction of the bike as well.
yeah, I was trying that. I don't know if it was just locking onto the mouse doing it, or it just didn't seem like it was turning or not. So I see it turn. And then when I tried doing the brakes, it just slid right off. Could that be because of the type of terrain we're using?
It's possible. So each different type of terrain can change it, but I would think more that it's probably something with the motorcycles being kind of buggy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm just trying to show every part of the game here I can to everybody at the moment. We showed
yeah,
some of the
absolutely.
crafting stuff. I wanted to show how the vehicles work. I wanted to show the shooting stuff. If you do die in the game, or even if you press K to just kill yourself out of from that part, does the inventory stay where the body was, or you got to build everything all over again?
No, you keep everything. You should be keeping everything. So
Oh, looks like you do. Okay, it just takes it out of the belt.
yeah. The
Okay,
like the quick slot stuff kind of goes away, but you should keep everything at this point.
okay.
Again, that'll be something that eventually the person who owns the world will be able to decide if when you die you lose everything and it's lootable, or you just keep everything, or some deviation thereof.
Yeah, and that's old school server settings where you choose whether or not to have that ability, or if you have to loot or don't have to loot and stuff like that. I am totally for that, being able to unlock the game even more for people to have what they want in the game itself.
Yeah.
And how
Here, let
dare
me
you
know.
wreck my car like that? Look at that. It was fine when it first arrived, and now the windows just shattered.
Yeah. Well, there's fireworks. Look up in the sky.
Where? I don't see any.
Over this way. Over this way.
No,
No. Oh,
nothing.
hit. You really don't see those?
No,
Oh, hit 8 on your or 9 on your number. No. 8,
nine. No,
7.
nothing.
Weird. You
Did
see
we
the
find?
balls though, right?
No.
Oh, weird. Now, if you hit 5 on the number pad,
Okay.
you see them spitting.
Oh, now
I
it's
see your ball.
yeah. I see
Right.
that.
Okay. Now, if you hit 9 or 8 on the number pad, it'll send him out and he'll do fireworks, and you'll be able to see
Okay,
him.
so do you see the
Off on the
fireworks
distance.
right now?
I see my fireworks. I don't know that I see your fireworks. It's
Okay.
very possible that those aren't synced.
Yeah, so
Would make
it appears that that is not synced.
Yeah,
Now,
but I
again,
do see your
everybody,
ball.
when we see things like that, everybody, remember, things are definitely just for the way that it works is developers, programmers, and everything from that part. They created out there. They tested from themselves, and they already know some of their bugs and stuff like that. But then, us as a community, it's then also our part to find things as well that they may not have ran across yet, or so forth. And that's what we do, and that's part of the community part to on both sides to help improve the game and make it even better.
I think that people will be really, really encouraged when they see, if they submit a bug, how fast I
Mm,
will address it, and you'll start to see it on the roadmap and stuff like
yeah.
that. So the README kind of serves as a roadmap too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see all the different things that are done on that. But yeah, basically, I mean, all of these things are pretty. Fireworks not syncing, that's an issue that makes a lot of sense to me, and I probably know how to fix it. The ball's not syncing. That's another issue I probably know how to fix. So it's more about knowing that it's there. Again, this was developed largely under covers for 7 months, 8 months, because we really didn't want anybody getting in the way of it. Every time I've showed this to a developer, they're like, "You can't do this. You can't give people this much freedom, and they don't know what
Yeah.
to do with it, and blah 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 blah." And so it wasn't worth trying to tell people what I was doing. And so I knew I needed to get the product to a certain point
Yeah.
before I ever went out the door. And so I feel like we're there. You know, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Totally on
I'm
it from that part.
constantly going, this is so neat. Like, I don't know, like
Wait, why can't I
I'm a
kick the
huge
ball? I want to kick the ball. Come on, it's
I
not
want to kick the
kicking.
ball too. I want to kick the ball too. I agree.
Kick
I
it.
think that that definitely
Come on.
should be part of it.
In PUBG, you can kick a soccer ball. Why can't you kick it in this one?
I can definitely make it so you can kick the ball. It's coming, I promise. It was one of the first things I thought of too was like, wouldn't it be fun if I could kick the ball? So
Oh, and I'm just putting some notes in the Discord wise of things that we've discussed as far as bugs and suggestions and stuff. That's all.
but yeah, eventually, I mean, it's pretty easy to give the player control of like
Yeah.
the color of the sun. And whatever they want to change, they'll be able to change in the game. And
Yeah.
that's really what I'm looking forward to the most is eventually
Cause,
you'll have all these wild alien skies
but
and
think about
worlds
this.
and
Can you actually see people creating soccer fields and soccer nets and stuff in this game,
yeah,
and
sure.
just playing
Why wouldn't
soccer
you?
together?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and the cool thing is now you can play it at any stadium that you want to come up with,
Yeah.
right? Like you can play soccer on top of the pyramids.
So I can
Completely
picture
doable.
people making all those maps and things with that. So I mean, we're finding some bugs here and there, some things to change this, some things to change that. Yeah, but I'm trying to see the whole picture of what this can become as well, and show that to
Right.
everybody else.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do because, like I say, it's we. I really felt like I had to do most of it under the
Hang on one
cover
second. I'm sorry. Let me
not
get out of the
being.
vehicle. Sorry, the
No problem.
sound's so loud they couldn't hear you, so I had to get out so you could
Yeah.
talk. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, I knew at a certain point I knew I had to just kind of go under the covers and produce something and then release it so that they couldn't say or find a way to try to stop me or
Mm-hmm.
distract me or whatever. So, but yeah, that's what the idea is. Look, these games have been at a place where we can do all this stuff for a long time now, and it's all just limits. And my son comes to me with like, oh, they're doing this on this and this and this, and it's like it's all ray tracing
Yeah.
and graphic updates and stuff like that, but like real play wise they've been limiting us for the last 10 years. They've been taking more and more of our freedom away.
Early
And so
two thousands.
I really wanted to take the Unreal 5 engine, which they basically give away, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to say, cool, let's let the players make everything in Unreal, you know? Oh,
And see, no matter what bugs we run into right now, just that type of idea wise, it connects to a lot of us because we have a lot of people in here that are around my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a few a little older or so forth. But we're in that generation. We were from that generation part where that was the opening part of multiplayer and everything, where you were able to share all your creations and so forth. And it was all locked down because of the marketing stuff afterwards. Once they went towards the peer to peer stuff rather than the player to player stuff connections rather than the dedicated servers and so forth that we had everything uploaded to. So
right.
this is what if you ask anyone else in this community in the stream right now, they'll tell you I've already probably mentioned that like 100 times in the last 3 months on stream. It's like imagine if we could make the map ourselves and
Yeah, I really think that this addresses a need. In fact, I think a lot of people that see it don't believe that it could possibly
mm-hmm.
be. I think a lot of people that look at the trailers and stuff like that just immediately discount that as that's vaporware. There's no way that exists. And it's because look, there's no trailers, there's no like major media blitz,
Mm-hmm.
there's no coming here and this is when the trailer comes out. It just kind of came out and it's been out and it's just marching along and hoping that people will see it. But I'm
Is that
certainly
not
not
hitting
a
you?
marketer. Oh, it's hitting me.
Oh, okay.
I'm
It
getting
looked like the
close.
bullets were going around. So I see bullets hitting on the left and the right, not on you. But it is a shotgun after all. Wait. Oh, so it's not actually.
Oh no, I'm dead. There we
Oh,
go.
okay. What type of health did you have on this thing? Here, let me switch to the pistol real quick and test that out.
And again, yeah, the different guns are going to have different levels. In fact, I've actually recently been talking to a guy that makes a gun pack that's completely real-time customizable.
Yeah.
And we're talking about integrating it into the game. So then you'd also
Okay.
have fully customizable guns in the game as well.
So
Because
would that be
I
like
really
other
feel like that,
attachments?
no, like full other guns that you could create
Okay.
yourself
Okay.
and say, I want this blast effect out of the muzzle, and I want this muzzle, and I want this bullet, and this explosive effect on the end of the, or whatever. So you
Okay.
will literally be able to make your own guns in it.
I need ammo.
And that's not something that you can really see in the cars here, but the cars are fully customizable as well, right?
One
Like
thing I
in
did. Oh,
GTA.
go ahead. One thing I didn't test yet is with those vehicles. How is the damage control on them? I'm about to test right now.
So, currently the guns and the cars damage aren't linked.
Okay.
You can shoot the foundations and the buildings and stuff, and they'll die. The cars are, they are capable of it, so it's built into the car system. I actually have a session with the car guy, hopefully in the next 2 days. He's in
Okay.
Spain, and he's a professor there, so he doesn't have a ton of time, but he's going to sit down with me, and we're going to go through and try to clean up all the conflicts. So, straight from the horse's mouth, which is
Yeah.
really one of the coolest parts of DCF is because we're open about what project or products we use to build the thing. We are also going back to them and they're saying, "Hey, let me come on the stream and I'll help you fix this and I'll help you fix that." So it's been really cool that way.
What's the
But
reload
anyway, yeah.
button?
So R.
Yeah, it's not reloading.
Oh, go into your inventory and drag the bullets into the clip.
Okay.
I have to manually do that shit. It's bullshit. But
That's just one bullet it brought over.
one bullet.
Yeah.
For the 9 millimeter.
Yeah. So like
Normally it's
it showed
100.
19 bullets to the right and it says like okay, so now I press R nothing. So as I did
Right.
what
You
you
have to go
said,
into your. Okay,
I
go back
dragged
over
it.
here to the crafting bench, and there's a
Okay.
100 bullets sitting on the crafting bench. So.
Well, no. So I have the bullets. I have the nine mil bullets in my inventory. I have 198, but then it shows one of 19 in the pistol. I fire
Oh,
one.
but
I
it.
press R. It
Well,
doesn't
okay.
do
So
anything.
go to tab, and then in your inventory, drag the bullets into the clip.
Yeah, because I did that. It only does one. Item must be
So
held to load ammo. Okay, so I gotta hold it. So
what? That's
yeah,
fucking.
it said I have to press number two for it to actually hold to put the ammo, but then it's not doing it.
Hold on.
So
Let
it's
me
still saying
craft.
1 to 19.
Really odd.
So
'Cause if
if
you
I
put a
shoot,
gun, if you just pull the gun open without the clip, and yeah, because I put.
it's only
It's
let me
weird.
put one in at a time, and then I have to shoot it. I can't do anything else.
Hell.
Now this gun I created, I died since I created it. Could
Okay,
that be
hold
anything?
on now. No, okay, so in your inventory you have a mag, right? Or just the gun?
I have the gun and the 109 millimeter bullets.
Okay,
Was
you
there a
need
mag I
a
needed?
magazine. Yeah,
Okay.
so go to the crafting bench and make a 9 millimeter magazine, and then you
Okay.
fill the magazine. You can also do one
Okay.
bullet at a time, just like a semi-automatic.
Okay.
Damn realism.
I didn't think about it. My bad. So I see the mag for the M4. I don't see any type of mag for the pistol.
It should be right by the pistol. Yeah, magazine M4A4. That's the one. It's wrong.
Okay.
It's the one right below the 1911.
Not
I
a
need to
problem.
fix that. Definitely on the list now. What's kind of cool about that though is you can like grab multiple magazines and have them in
Hmm.
your inventory and load them up all with bullets and stuff. So it's kind of cool that way, I guess. Like I say, it's
Okay, so now that should be
that
created.
realism stuff.
Inventory. Put that over there, that in there. Let's get rid of the shotgun for right now. Remove the shotgun bullets. So now we have to move the ammo into the clip.
And then you'll see the clip say 18
Yeah.
or 19. 18.
So that everybody knows on it from that part, that's how it is then from there. If you do the entire ammo, where it's just the ammo, not a clip or anything, then it will only load in one at a time, which obviously then would be the top chamber, whichever. But then, in order to actually fill it up all the way, you need to have the mag. So you put the ammo to the mag and the mag to the weapon. That accurate?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so now we have the weapon equipped. I take the mag, I put it over there. Okay, now it is
Now you
going.
got multiple.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Now, before I ask you this question, I'm going to go ahead and test it out anyways. Wait, where is that going? Okay, so I notice when I'm shooting that it... Okay, so this has to do with if I'm trying to shoot behind me, it won't shoot.
Hmm.
Wait, no, I'm out of bullets. Never mind. So when I was trying to shoot behind me, it wasn't shooting where it was supposed to shoot. Not always. Now it is. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I think the marriage between the motion system and the survival kit system isn't working correctly. I think
Okay.
I know how to fix that. So it's coming. It'll take some time, but I'll get
Okay.
it.
Now you were talking about the vehicle ideas you were having as far as what all the vehicles capable of doing and all that stuff. Are you looking to be able to do anything like the damage to the vehicle as far as tires are concerned, or no?
Oh yeah, it's already there. Like it's
Okay.
already built in. It's not connected. So
Okay.
yeah, eventually tires they blow up, they can have big crashes, the trunk will pop off, the individual pieces of the car or bike will pop off. The cars and bikes that you're seeing are just a few of the whole pack. There's a ton of them, so
Okay.
there's a lot coming that way.
So you have more planning to come along then from that part, but then we can as far as that's concerned, that there's the base structure on it, but then we could still put our own type of skins and stuff on it, to my knowledge.
So yeah, so what will happen? Well, okay, so right now it's pretty open like GTA where you can
Hmm.
change a lot of the colors and things like that. But eventually, yeah, the models for the tank and the frame and stuff like that, you'll be able to kind of customize those out yourself as well.
Okay.
And then tweak the physics settings on that bike. So you'd be able to create your own motorcycle, create your own car type of thing.
So like if I wanted to bring a tank into this, would it be possible?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, would take the vehicle model, and then bring in your tank model. So I would assume that that won't be something that will be too far out of me doing. I have a couple tanks that I
Okay.
could bring in,
But
so
would they be
we'll
able to
definitely.
shoot?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. You'll be able to take over a dragon and blow down your friends' houses. I mean,
Okay.
anything you can come up with.
All right. So is there anything as far as the vehicle part is concerned? Is there anything you want to show as far as the vehicles, or you think that we've discussed the vehicles enough on it from that part, and there's things that you already plan
Um,
on making with it from there? I
yeah,
see
like I
more
say, I mean,
control
just
that could come along, but it sounds like you got a lot of that in the works at the moment.
Yeah, there is a ton of stuff coming with the vehicles is basically the biggest thing to know about it, and
Okay.
that a lot of the basic conflicts that you're seeing right now, I definitely know how to fix, and those will be gone by the next release, which should be Friday, is when I'm kind of looking to do it.
All right.
So
Let me go up to this
so a lot of
workbench.
they'll at least drive a lot better and stuff like that now.
Okay. Are you gonna add anything like nades or anything like that, or just stick with the C4?
There is grenades already in there. I'm not sure why they're not on the crafting menu. I was questioning that myself.
Okay.
But there is grenades already in it, and then there's the C4s already in it. Yeah, the weapon system I definitely want to see expanded.
Okay.
Um, Kind of the concept that I'd hoped to see was to bring in people that are partial devs or modders and have them kind of take over certain systems inside the DCF ecosphere, right? So,
Mm.
we've got John over here, and John, he does all the guns and he keeps up with all the gun technology and makes sure that DCF has all the latest greatest guns in there. And the same with, cars or whatever people want to build or come up with. We basically have a person for each one. I desperately want to put boats in so we can have pirate battles
Oh
and things
yeah,
like
I could
that.
totally see boats and ships and speedboats and
Hmm.
ramps and because that
Exactly.
the first thing
Exactly.
I saw with this in my mind was creating some type of track of some sort, some race vehicles, and be able to adjust and everything with that. But we also know from the programming and development perspective of it, that's a lot of work as well. That you got to make sure that all the vehicles work properly and that the water. The water structure and everything with the coating and everything from that part works properly on it as well of how it rides on the water and stuff and yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that most of that stuff is built into the system. So like
Hmm.
this already has a buoyancy system, so we can build ships into it pretty easily. It has a swimming system in it, so you'll be able to eventually have a swimming where you could scuba dive underwater, and
Yeah.
you could take your terraformer and build big underwater cliffs and stuff like that, or caves and stuff like that. So it's like limitless, the way it goes, because it's basically saying another thing that I really want to do is on the building plan. Like right now, you can build a foundation and a wall, but eventually I want you to be able to click on that big castle you built or house and say save that, and then anytime you want to build that entire house, you just tell it to build that house and it builds the whole damn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and we can make it animate so it actually like puts the pieces together and constructs the damn thing. But I really want it so that, once your creativity is exerted into the game, that it doesn't go anywhere. It just keeps getting built on top of and multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. But you create a castle and then come back a week later and your same castle is still there, but they've taken it and iterated it 20 times, and now there's a guy that's got a chrome castle that's sitting in a cloud world, and a guy that's got a underwater castle that's sitting in it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Anything is doable.
How does the flamethrower work?
Okay, so you have to hook a cable from the generator to the flamethrower.
Okay, so I gotta make a cable.
Yeah, if you don't have one.
Yeah, while you were doing that, I was testing out the flamethrower. I saw the flamethrower. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't think that the damage is strapped across yet, but it will be. So
Oh,
I
so
definitely want to put,
cable.
we definitely want to put pranks and traps and
Hmm.
that type of thing in the game too. So eventually I want it so you can tack somebody like with a hot air balloon and
Yeah.
have them hauled 600 feet into the air and dropped and shit like that. So.
So
Yeah, the
input.
cable basically just harnesses the two together, and then it's like a flame trap, and I think it'll just start blowing off flame.
Okay, so how do I detach from it now?
So you connect it from one side of the generator, so the output side of the generator to the flame trap,
Yeah, it's
the input
connected, but
side
it
of the
won't
flame.
let me unsnap from it.
sometimes if you can't get it to like connect from, so basically, if it's not snapping, it means that it's not like
Well, I
connecting
mean,
the two devices
so it
together.
looks like it's connected already. I just can't get off of the item. It's like it wants me to do another cable.
Hit like one, yeah, just hit one of your quick slots and it'll
Ah, okay.
drop off.
Oh, because
And then you can
it
move
was
it.
equipped to the cable. Okay.
Right, exactly. You can also equip stuff by right clicking or
Oh, that's no fun.
oh,
Sorry.
it's taking damage.
Is it? Hang on.
It's just not showing it. Yeah,
But
if you
will it go
walk up to
boom?
it, it's got not yet. Not yet. Is that
Reload.
important? Do I need to make it go boom for you?
All right. Wait. Everybody, are y'all hearing this? He's asking right now if it is important that he has to make that go boom. Does he not
That's
know who he's talking to over here?
well, I'm just saying.
We like
I'm
to
just
make
saying
stuff
that.
go boom. No, in the game, I'm known for the nades and stuff like that. So we make a lot of stuff go boom. We do
Yeah.
like gas traps and stuff like that, where we blow up the gas cans in PUBG and stuff in other games, and the C4 drops from the glider and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And like I say, that's I'm definitely, if somebody is like, "Hey, we need to put this into the explosives." I mean, it'll come quick, I promise,
You know
just
what my
because I
brain
know
just
that
did?
you're interested in it.
Yeah,
I because you said I'm into it now, okay, it just jumped four
yeah.
spots on the list because I just want to see you have fun with it. You know what I
I
mean?
I just now pictured making a whole dirt track thing with like the motorcycles and cars and stuff, and then having things go boom, hitting the while people are driving around, people shooting the tanks and stuff, and
Yeah.
watching them go boom, explosions and your
Oh yeah.
fireworks and stuff.
Or you can have like a racetrack that has
Hmm.
turrets that the spectators can sit in the turrets and fire at the racers.
Yeah, we just
All of
created a
that
whole
stuff
nother
is
game.
it's all completely
Yeah,
possible. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's
yeah.
all completely possible in this game. And it's handed to the player. Instead of building it by the developer, it's the player that gets to come up with those ideas. But yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I would totally play the shit out of that. Or what I would love is a boat system that's customizable like Waterworld,
Hmm.
and then I would just take all the water or all the world away and just have like an ocean world with floating fucking apparatus and stuff like that, just like the old Waterworld
And you
movie.
have like those bases and stuff that goes all the way down to the ground, and otherwise it's just a whole thing of metal and so forth instead of land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, you could totally do that in this game easily, right? So yeah, that's all of those things that's what makes this game so fun is that or so cool is that's all possible. The minute you start to realize like, oh, anything I can think of, I could build. Because if it doesn't have the trees I want, I can just import the trees in. And if it doesn't have this I want, I can just import that in and switch that and switch that. So the same way that people do with Gary's mod,
Hmm.
with a much technical end of it, you're going to be able to do with DCF, but do it right there inside the game.
Why is my character not using its skin? Its clothes.
Yeah, the Ready Player Me stuff is really buggy. That's why I really
Okay.
don't like it, and it's constantly they shift the code under my feet,
Okay.
and so that's really why I'm desperate to get away from it. Um, it is very nice to have all the customization. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, Mike.
Yeah.
I've just dropped in. Um, but I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
The character skins, the that it
Oh
didn't
yeah.
come back over or so forth. You were saying about the
So
system.
yeah, Ready Player Me is what I use right now, and it's because they offer the customizable. Everybody gets to be who they want to be.
Hmm.
But it's been a league of problems dealing with it, and the support is basically silent. So I really am hoping to get away from it. What I'm really looking to do is create a system or get the original Saints Row, the last one that came out, system for boss creation or character creation. because that was the most open one I've ever seen. And so that's the one I would love to. And I know it's also based on Unreal 5. So, I mean, it wouldn't take much to get it working with my system. But basically, that's the idea, is that I want to give people the ability to be whatever character they want in the game and represent themselves however they want. And that is opening up more and more and more. Even so, like I have currently, I'm talking to an AI to 3D
Hmm.
company that they're going to, so you'll be able to create a 3D character on a website and then just transfer it straight into the game and use that as your character too. So there's a lot of possibilities that are coming around the horizon with Ready Player Me. And so I'm really kind of, it's literally like set on top of everything else because I want to be able to take it off and put something else in its place very easily. So it's not bad. Like, it's hard to get it real angry at it because look, you can do all this customization with it and it's pretty open, but it's all stylized. It doesn't have any realistic, and there's a lot of things that just really peeve me about it. So it'll be the one thing that I'm really looking to move towards, having a different system,
So in its
much more open one.
So in its current state right now, what we see here, I think a lot of it does require getting used to the app itself, how to use things, what all you can create and play around wise with it. If I grade it based on the designing wise on it, 1 through 10, I think it'd be more around a 6 or 7 at the moment, until you get some of the changes you were saying, where you can be a little bit more free of the character wise to be able to see to create those terrains. But I see a lot of potential with it. And then as far as on the gameplay part itself, I also see the possibilities wise with it. But if we grade it based on what it currently is at, I think I'm about at the same as well, though, more around a 6 or so from there. But I see a lot of potentials in this game. Now, anything 5 or less is more like a thumbs down, like a don't get type thing. So, like I said, in this current situation, I definitely see it as a thumbs up. It's something I'll suggest for others to do, and I see a lot more potential wise with it to be able to continue on with the game for. And when you see that already, where where that it'll be locked into that price, it's not going to be like a DLC you needed to get or anything like that, except like you were saying, if it does a service thing for the servers or so forth, then that shows a lot of potential to even start early in with this.
Yeah, it won't. It'll always be 15.99.
Yeah,
I'm totally committed to that because I hate the industry so much for piecemealing us all.
yeah,
I'm a gamer first, right? I was a
yeah.
developer. I've been a developer for 3 years. I haven't been a developer my whole career, but I've been a gamer forever, and it just killed me that they were doing this to kids. It's like, hey man, these are kids. They don't have $15 to spend because they want to be Spider-Man on Fortnite. That is just ridiculous. It is not fair. And it's like, and we come from a time where the digital world was abundant, and the whole idea of the digital world was its abundance. You can copy paste in a digital world. And then somewhere along the way, they decided, well, when we copy paste, we're going to charge you for it. Horse shit, man. Somebody's got to come in and say, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so, like, this opens it back up, and hopefully, everybody says, hey, look, we can be creative with it and stuff like that. And hey, I'll take a 6 at this point because at this point, it's like, hey, it's just the one of me, and I'm trying to get it all together and get it going. And I know how close it's getting to all the pieces fitting together in a much bigger way. And then there's also that whole AI agent part that most people aren't really looking at this in this game in. But when the headless server comes out and it has a local AI agent that runs on that headless server, that every time you go into that world, it will remember who you are, it will greet you, it will talk to you, it will know about your life, right? And it will be constantly changing that world. So one day you might show up and you're in a forest, a fantasy landscape, and the next day you might show up in a completely different world, depending on what the AI is creating in that world. Because the AI is going to really be building that world, right? You'll still be able to
Mm.
customize it and change it however you want, but the AI is going to be living in that world 24/7 and creating things and making new game loops and new play loops. So, like I say, the revolutionary part of this game, it seems like it's already in there because it gives you all this open creative freedom. But the real revolution will come when AI attaches,
Hmm.
and then the game becomes a whole new thing.
Sorry, I was testing the destruction stuff here real quick.
Yep, yep.
All right, well, what we just got going on here now is I typed to see how many people are actually interested in a free copy of this game. We have one, two, three, four. So far, four at the moment. I know I did sort of go a little bit with. We probably have some AFKs in there right now, so let's give them one more chance. Type NAG DFC for a chance to win a free copy of this game. And while I do this real quick, if you want to look for anything else you think that we should see in this game, like any weapon feature, any powering feature, anything like that, anything else that abilities with any vehicles or buildings or anything within there for the whole the creation part, definitely let me know right after this for us to go over that. I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
No, like I say, I think we went through a lot of it and we talked through a lot of it. I hope that people are excited about it and want to play it. I'll, I'll keep feeding you keys. I need
Okay.
to go request some more now, but I'll keep feeding you more keys if you want them.
Okay.
And I'm really, again, I understand that this is, people should know like the 15.99 is like, that's to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Every it hasn't made a dime there, but there's no debt either, right? So
Yeah.
like a couple thousand people playing this game and you're going to see progress go through the roof because I'll have all sorts of abilities I didn't have before. Just to expand my, like, I'm working on a 1070i. I don't have very much hardware,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that I would change much of it, but I would definitely add more. And so yeah, I could definitely go a lot faster with just a little bit of support, but I'm don't need much and I'm not looking for much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's been times where I've wanted to make this game invite only, which for a video game that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at the same time it's like, but I didn't want it to just be people going, well, like, I didn't want the old slanted video games. I've had a lot of people look at it for marketing purposes, and they're immediately trying to figure out how they fit it into other marketing or other game types. And it's like, no, you really have to let your audience know this is something new. This is something different that they haven't seen before. But that's not easy to explain, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think a lot of people get the vision of it that have seen it. But like I say, most of my videos have like 100 views or 200 views, so it hasn't really been seen either. So it
Yeah,
needs to be
it's just how it goes
needs a little
out
more
there on it. Yeah.
visibility. Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand. Most Steam games that come out don't have any kind of success, to be honest.
Yeah, it just really depends. In some cases, it's even just word of mouth and so forth. But all right, what we're gonna do right now, real quick. There's one thing I'd like to do before you leave. Right after we do this giveaway here, uh, we because we also do a lot of FPS games and so forth, and TPP and all that stuff. We gotta at least finish this off with a gunfight. So if you can go ahead and get your character prepped.
Oh well.
But while we're waiting on that, everybody, uh, let's go ahead and do this giveaway here. We got one, two, three, four, five. Let me see exactly how many we got here. One, two, three, four. I think it's four we got here. All right. So here is the question. I'm going to have to get another weapon here real quick. But the question is, who will win this gunfight? Me or Dev? If we only have 4 of us, you can only answer 2. You can only answer, there can only be 2 per answer. So 2 goes for Dev, 2 goes for me. Mitch says Dev. Draw says Dev. Well, if we only have the other 2, then the other 2's got to go for me. All right, let me get this other weapon real quick. Put the hammer up. Although somebody has more experience than me in this game because they probably tested it, every day.
Yeah. I'm trying not to say much, but I'm the one walking around here with an M16, so
Yeah, because I don't
I
know
also
that
know.
I don't know your the weapon distance ratio and stuff like that, or
Oh, I know how to set it from single fire, multi fire, fully auto. You can give it a shot.
now for the record, everybody though, the nade isn't available right now. Otherwise, I'd already win. I'm just creating this real quick, and we'll get started on here. Oh, I created the inventory mag. Oh, so you got it running 762.
By the way,
yeah.
we were talking about the aiming. On the If you right click, you'll notice that the view changes a little bit. Eventually, what I plan to do is make that a first person shot. So
Okay.
you'll zoom all the way into first person shot and see the gun barrel and be able to
like some
fire from
TPP
there.
games already do when you zoom in.
Right, yeah. The
Okay.
idea is that you'd hit the right mouse button when you're on the gun, and then all of a sudden you'd have like the kind of zoomed in.
What is the button to switch it between single and auto?
B, I think it is.
I thought I tried that already. Let me try again. Oh, okay. It's working. All right. First, we got to get to our corners, and then we'll get this started. So you stay on this side.
All right.
You get in this blue step thingy here. I'm going to get on the other side, and then we'll start. Let's see. My frames are dropping. Give me a second. So to make sure everybody saw everything on here, I had it up on Epic. I'm going to bring it down to medium now on my graphics. Because now we're actually playing, and it's game on now.
It seems like the 5.4 engine really pushes people's graphics card if you have it up on Epic. So
yeah, I just brought it down to medium. I'm running about 70 right now. All right, so you got no scopes in this game, right?
not yet. Nope.
Okay. All right, we had more people type NAG. How many copies I got? I got one that's already out there for Twitter. I
I can get you a few more if you need.
I got 3 copies, so that'll be for 3 winners here then. I can do all 3 right now. And then the other one I got out there for that. And if we get any more to give out on Discord, I'll mention on that part as well. But let's go ahead and do the 3 winners for right now. Okay. So everyone needs to have your vote locked in. Who's going to win? Me or Dev? We got Draw says Dev, Mitch says Dev, Bell says me, Rain says Dev.
I win.
Hey, y'all see that? Wait a second. So Solarian says, I want to say I appreciate the vision that the dev has here. I will probably keep watching the progress of this game, although it's likely not for me personally. Just generally not a sandbox sort of guy. I think this is a really ambitious project and curious to see how of these ideas shake out. So yeah, I mean the way it goes, you can turn this into anything. You could turn it into a FPS game of your own from that part. It has all these abilities of what you can do wise with it. I don't even know the limits myself on there. I mean, do you think you could even turn this into an FPS with the limits or so forth?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could do whatever you want with it, really. I mean, at a certain point, you're going to be able to make any kind of Unreal, system in there that exists in the system. You'll be able to reassign to your own thing. So if you wanna have, whatever you want in there is addable. I have a
Hmm.
skateboard pack for Christ's sakes that I'll
There's even a
eventually put.
skateboard back in here, y'all.
Yeah, well, it's not in there yet, but
Oh,
I have it.
oh,
But
sorry.
like I say, those are all addable. Eventually, there'll
Hmm.
be horses. Eventually, there'll be, we really want it to be like this is a digital world that you control as the player and have it the way you want it. But in the case of of the person that said I'm not really into sandbox games, I totally get that.
Yeah.
But then also understand that your friend who is into sandbox games might make this huge, you know, battle royale map and say, "Hey, everybody, come in here, and we'll all battle royale on the DCF map." And so that's what, the idea is that eventually you'll be able to put down race gates for the cars and the bikes. So you'll be able to make race tracks that actually have, like finish lines and stuff like that. So this is all of that stuff is coming down the pike and is actually, I mean, the car pack's got loop to loops and ramps and everything that you could possibly think of in it. So eventually that will be even more open, but the point is that more that eventually you'll have your friends saying, "Let's meet on this world inside DCF," is the goal. You ready to die?
All right, let's do it. You ready? Go. I'm trying to peek here to see if he's just gonna waste his shots.
Q and E will do the lean.
Yeah, I already figured that out when we first loaded the game up. Okay.
Ah.
Dance, damn you, dance!
Dance, monkey, dance!
You just staying there now?
But my reloader's not reloading.
Yep. Mine's only
How
reloading by
embarrassing.
5. Did I not put the clip in?
No, that's a new bug. That's definitely something new. I
That's
can't
a
even put my down. Damn it! All I wanted to do was kill you. Fair.
Okay, here we go.
Stupid game.
Reload.
I wouldn't buy it. Where? Come on. Let me just put down the C4 around him then. I'm
No!
improvising. Damn
I'm
it.
trying to reload.
Why is it doing that with the
Okay.
guns? Huh. Definitely an issue.
I got one. do
Yeah,
do
yeah,
we count
yeah.
that one? He was staying still.
Using my own bugs against me. That's some bullshit right there.
All right, we're
I don't
technically
know.
1-1. We're technically 1-1, y'all. We're 1-1 because he got his free shot the first time. So we got to make this one actually count. Let's make sure he can actually reload, and then we'll be good. I got 2 clips for the M4.
All right, I'm in.
All right, you ready? You got your weapon set?
I'm currently running after you to kill you.
Oh, but you're going to fail miserably? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
So no scope. Dance, damn you, dance!
Oh.
It's not moving! I was trying to run you over! It's not working and I can't get out! No! That don't count! Because I technically didn't die. I sunk. I sunk.
Counts.
No, it doesn't. I'm still alive.
You get nobody can hear you. You got water in your lungs.
Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, 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 blub. Can I get up from the bottom here?
Hit K. Yeah, I think you have to.
No, because then I die.
Well, yeah. You drove off a cliff and fell like 7,000 feet into the bottom of the ocean. You're
It's
dead.
not
Dude.
my fault it slid. All right, here we go. Here we go. This one actually counts now, y'all. One of us have to shoot the other. Although he's waiting for me to pop up. I think I gotta go this way instead. I'm in the water again. He made this trap just for me.
Well, no, experience would say I made it for me because I get trapped in that thing more than anybody else, I promise.
Yeah!
Oh, come on.
Okay, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Reload, reload! Switch weapons! Okay, I got bullets. Where'd you go? I got him!
Cheating, cheating, cheating. Fake news. Fake news.
He says use the bazooka, Dev, is what he just said. Is there a bazooka in this thing?
There's not a bazooka, unfortunately.
Oh, come on!
When there is, I will bring it in secret and shoot you with it.
So see, the fun thing with with map designing back in the day was you made your own little secrets in the map, like your own little trigger secret doors. Like it's not even marked. You just knew exactly where to shoot, and it would open up, and then you grab it and said, "Say hello to my little friend." It's like, hey, how'd you get that?
Exactly, and you can, like I say, you can make caves in this, so you can have like whole cave areas.
Yeah.
And hidden areas and stuff like that. I mean, I had one player that he had to take asylum from South Africa, and so he hasn't been around lately, but at one point he was building a whole like mapped out like PvP map, and his save had all the guns strewn out throughout the map, and he would just load his save, everybody would jump in and they would fight in this map, and then when everything was exhausted like we just did, he would just hit reload and everything would pop back and they'd start again. So it has the potential of basically doing anything that any of the games do right now.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like putting in tracking mechanics for like battle royale, or tracking mechanics for deathmatch, or tracking mechanics for racing. That's all very, very simple stuff.
I think you need a cane or something to walk after what I just did to your foot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a metal leg, so there you go.
Are you a pirate?
I'm a pirate. Totally want, like I say, this game, if I could have a ship with cannons that I could shoot at bases on the ground, oh my God. And honestly, lately I've been coming up with these ideas of I could have it so that certain shells will put a big hole in the ground. You know, like certain explosives and shit like that. So you could literally
will the C4 damage the ground or no?
No, it won't damage the ground. But you could have it that yeah, you could have like the C4 damage the ground, and that would stay in. And I know how to do that. It's just
Mhm.
again, it's a matter of time and
Yeah.
having the thing. So if I had, like I say, just a little bit of support, because we have like, again, there's no debt here. So all we need is a little bit of support to increase, and then all of a sudden you're going to have more cars, you're going to have all these guns, you're going to have, everything that you can think of is going to come in. And the reason it's going to come in is, you can see, I want it as bad as all the players do, right? Like
Hmm.
I want to see this go that big more than anybody, but I want to see it go big because I want to see people play it.
Okay. All right. So I'm trying to see here who all won because everyone typed dev at first. And then I had one that just typed NAG that I think was typing NAG. I don't. Did anyone actually say Wiz?
All I know is you're dead.
Oh, because I alt tabbed. He alt tabbed fragged me, y'all. He alt tab fragged me.
Every time. That's called situational awareness, my friend.
Oh, really now? Really? Y'all hear this?
Yeah, I know you're pulling out a gun.
Uh oh. I
Damn
don't
it!
have the ammo.
No
I don't have
ammo.
the ammo. I gotta put it in the clip.
God damn! I need to figure out a lock-on system.
Well, let's go
Let's start.
here. Well, let's go there. Reload. Fire! Okay. So I
Taking.
had to do it again just so everybody knew how that stands. So we're good now. We should probably go this way. Run! C4! That's it. That's it.
Well, you avoided it. I mean, if
Well,
you would
no,
have
well,
stayed
but
there,
it's
pretty
the
much
C4. It
ended.
should have done a much more bang.
Oh well, I can make it much more bang. Is that important? Do you need me to do
Yes.
that now?
Yes. Wait, what are you doing?
I'm stuck in that reload bug again. God damn. What is that? That's going to piss me right the hell off. I have to figure that out. Yeah, there's actually attachments that you can put on the guns too, so you can
So,
actually add
is
stuff
there
to the
already? I
gun
didn't see.
system already.
I didn't see him initially.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any of them in the crafting bench. Maybe at the very bottom. But there is a silencer in the system. There is a butt stock, so you can change the butt stock on the M16 and stuff like that. So, but again, I'm talking to a guy this week that runs a whole weapon system. If I could get that one in there, oh my god, it'd be so cool. So we'll probably work to try to do that.
All right. Well, it looks like we have two winners here. It's going to be Christine Draws and Belarus56. Congratulations, you two. I will post up in Discord the giveaway next. We'll go ahead and give out the third copy via Discord. Um, I think that's going to be everything for right now. Is there anything else you have to say? So, what do you go by? Orange? Is that orange? Orangey? Oh,
It's Oranje, which is orange in Dutch. I'm originally from Holland, and my name is Lucian. So, but you can call me whatever. I don't care.
so
Um,
Orange Lucian.
thanks.
Got it.
I really appreciate you taking a look at it and taking a look through it. It's been kind of a struggle over these last couple months after release, because I'm just not very good at marketing, and I was hiding for so long. It's very hard to kind of take it out of the hiding and get people looking at it. So I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, no, not a problem. And I think the main thing on this though is whenever you're solely on it like that, you start to get tunnel vision and just see certain things that this works this way, this works that way, and all that stuff. And sometimes you need that other outside of the box, the third eye or so forth, to look at it and say, hey, what about this or that, and or this ain't working, or look what you just broke,
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree. I think that I'm overdue for that third or that those other viewpoints. I totally agree with you on that. Like I totally need to get those viewpoints much more in the game. But at this, like I say, it was set up to do this in a way. First off, people got to understand that this game is primarily AI made. So we started with nothing, and we started with an AI saying, okay, now grab this piece and grab that piece and grab this piece and put them all together and create this thing. And because of a lot of the stigma around AI, it got a lot of people very scared of the game when we talked about it. So we kind of went into this underground mode. And so these last couple months of me been just trying to kind of pop out of that, which is a lot more difficult than I've than I thought.
Yeah. But yeah, so thanks for being on the show today on it from that part. I'm going to give these two keys out. Then I'm going to do some more in Discord on it from there. For the last key that I have to give out on it, I have another one that I'm giving out on Twitter here. Uh, if you want to in Discord, if you want to post up anything on the news of the game or anything like that, just post it up under uh, what was it called? Wasn't it Games General? Let me check here. It was general games chat right now. I am thinking about making a section specifically for devs and publishers to talk about their games and stuff like that in a specific channel, or where I at least have it linked to their Discord, where it has the when anytime any announcement comes up, it comes up in there as well. So feel free to do it on that. It definitely caught a lot of attention on it here. I think the main thing is of what we see it can become, and so we want to keep a lot of tension on this and see what updates you have coming out to it and everything from there.
Yeah, like I say, well, I'll drop you a note every time I update it, and you'll see it
I,
on Steam as well. But yeah, you'll see it. It's a weekly thing, so there's
not a problem.
constantly stuff going.
And don't worry, us breaking the game intentionally is a weekly thing as well. I think that's more of a daily thing, but yeah.
Eventually I look at it because Steam offers the ability to do multiple branches. So eventually there'll be a stable branch, right? Where
Hmm.
this is the one that you go to if you don't want crashes and stuff like that. Right now we're so early, it's kind of silly to do two different branches, but
Yeah.
but eventually, yeah, you'll have it where you'll have a stable branch, and then if you want to
Then
play
like a
with the
beta.
latest greatest, you'll be able to switch the branch and go to the latest greatest and mess with that. So yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap then. We're going to go ahead and do a quick raid here. And everyone that's in here right now, come over to Discord and I'm going to continue the giveaway. So let me go ahead and do this raid now.